Hey there guys, and thank you so much for joining me in this video as we talk some more movie news here on the channel. So in this video we're going to be discussing the upcoming Monopoly movie. It looks like there's movement on this movie adaptation of the hit board game. It looks like they've landed the writers for the movie, which is kind of exciting, but it still leaves me with the question, how exactly are they going to be adapting this board game into a movie? Is it going to be people inside the board game, kind of reminiscent of the Jumanji type movies, or is it going to be like a comedy movie where a family is actually playing the board game rather than inside the board game? I'm not sure how this is going to pan out, but regardless, it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt the Monopoly game nonetheless. But with that said, let's jump into this article here from Joe Blow. Let's break down this information that we know so far and see what we can gauge about this upcoming movie. So, Lionsgate Monopoly movie tips its hat to Dungeons & Dragons duo John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein to pen the adaptation. So that's the writing team that we have behind this, which is kind of cool. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves creative duo John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein will write the Monopoly movie. So, Lionsgate and Lucky Chap is the company that's owned by Margot Robbie, if I'm not mistaken, are rolling out the dice for their upcoming Monopoly movie with Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves duo John Francis Daley, Freaks and Geeks, and Jonathan Goldstein penning the anticipated project. Lucky Chap, Margot Robbie's award-winning production studio. Yeah, I thought it was Margot Robbie. I'm not sure if she's going to be starring in this movie, or it's just her company that's kind of sort of producing it. That would be interesting to find out. Helping bring Mattel's Barbie to the silver screen, quickly becoming one of Hollywood's greatest success stories with more than $1 billion in global ticket sales. Yeah, I mean, over the past few years, we've had some crazy movies when you think about it. So this is a Monopoly movie, and you think, how do you build a movie based on a board game? But, you know, we've had Jumanji, that had great success. We've had Lego, we've had the Lego movies, that was based on building blocks. We're getting a Minecraft movie, we've had Barbie. So we've got all these different kind of movies based on these kind of toys and board games and stuff that have been successful. And there's no reason why, if they don't, there's no reason they couldn't build a successful narrative around the Monopoly game as well. It'd be interesting to see what kind of narrative they come up with for this movie. So, 89 years ago, Hasbro Monopoly began dividing families, ending friendships and creating chaos as players argued and haggled for properties that would boost their income and drive others to bankruptcy. We've all done it. We've all got stories where we've sat around a table with friends or family or both, and we've played a game of Monopoly. 6 hours later, you're still playing, but you begin hating each other's guts. You get more and more smug as you take money from them and you build hotels. We've all done it. We've all got these great stories. And Monopoly is such a staple of a lot of families and memories that you have growing up. And it's just a great game to play. Monopoly is the most popular board game in history with more than 100 countries with countless theme versions in addition to the original. Yeah, the last version that I bought, I specifically remember this. I went to a estate sale and I bought a Simpsons version. I've still got it in my cupboard downstairs. It's really, really cool, the Simpsons version. Check it out, guys, by the way, if you haven't played the Simpsons version. It's really fun. During a round of Monopoly, players pick from collective pieces from a top hat to a Scottish Terrier, a classic car, an iron, the mighty thimble, and others to travel across the board while buying up properties. If a rival player lands on their own space, they must pay the rent or risk a verbal battle with the landowner. Hasbro has sold over 500 million copies of Monopoly since 1935. That's incredible, isn't it, when you think about it? 500 million copies of this board game. That's a lot of hurt feelings, trips to jail, and free parking. Can you think of the amount of relationships that have been ended with 500 million copies of this game sold? It's a relationship killer, guys. If you've got a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, just do not play this game with them because it never ends well. So, quote, "We knew Lucky Chap would be a beacon of the best talent in town, and Lionsgate and Hasbro are thrilled that Goldstein and Daley have decided to join the fun," said Eric Westerman, co-president of Lionsgate Motion Picture Group. "We've been long-time admirers of their work, telling bold, original, intelligent stories for all audiences that are the perfect architects for this franchise." By the way, the writers that are working on this, Jonathan Francis Daley and Jonathan Francis Daley, who worked on the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie. If you haven't seen Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, guys, you're robbing yourselves of a great cinematic experience. It's a really, really fun film. Unfortunately, nobody saw it, which is a shame. It deserved better than it got at the box office. I recommend checking out Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. You'll really have a great time with it, guys. But anyway, that's just a side note. So, Jonathan Francis Daley, also known as Sam Weir from the beloved coming-of-age TV series Freaks and Geeks, and Jonathan Goldstein wrote and directed Dungeons & Dragons. Again, check it out if you haven't seen it, for Paramount. While the film found moderate success at the box office, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. It really didn't do so well at the box office. Honor Among Thieves was a hit with fans of the fantasy role-playing franchise. Audiences loved D&D's quirky comedy, intense attention to detail, and outlandish action, which helped make Dungeons & Dragons the premier tabletop RPG. Yeah, it's a perfect example of how you can turn a kind of board game into a movie that's really fun, really great. It was written well, the action was great, the CGI was fun, the comedy was fun. And if they can take that same formula and recipe and translate that to a Monopoly movie, then I think we're in for a winner. So, Monopoly is a top property, pun fully intended. Like all the best IP, this game has resonated worldwide with generations, and we're so excited to bring this game to life, alongside the wonderful teams involved at Lionsgate and Hasbro. Lucky Chap said last year about joining the production effort for Monopoly. I could not imagine a better production team for this beloved and iconic brand than Lucky Chap, said Lionsgate. Motion Picture Group Chairman Adam Fogelson, they're exceptional producers who choose their projects with great thought and care and join Monopoly with a clear point of view. We are tremendously excited to be working with the entire Lucky Chap team on what we all believe can be the next blockbuster. With John Francis Daley, Jonathan Goldstein on board, what are your thoughts about Hasbro's Monopoly movie? Yeah, I mean, I think it's got the recipe for success here. We've got the writers on Dungeons & Dragons, which again was a really fun, great movie. Unfortunately, no one saw. And we've got Lucky Chap, Margot Robbie's sort of production company, with their sort of power behind it as well. Whether Margot Robbie would be actually starring in this movie, that would boost the kind of this project's appeal through the roof, especially after coming off of her Barbie movie and how successful that was. So we'll have to wait and see if she is in fact in the movie, like I said earlier in the video. But that would be really cool if she was. Her star power is just crazy these days. But guys, that's kind of where we are. That's all the information that we have so far on the Monopoly board game adaptation. Is it going to come to fruition, or will it fall by the wayside? I'm not really sure at this point. We'll have to continue to keep our eyes on it and see if there's any future updates in the coming weeks and months. But guys, jump into the comment section and let us know, would you be excited to watch a Monopoly movie? And do you think it's even possible to make this into a successful movie? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down in the comment section and let us know what you think about this story. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't done so far, as it goes a long way to supporting my content, and I'd really, really appreciate that. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.